Many thanks for staying with us. This is still Report Desk Africa. And before we went on that quick break, we're talking about the dilemma that Nigerians have once again found themselves in, which is the issue of fuel scarcity. And unfortunately, when we talk about fuel scarcity, it's not just the fuel stations that are clogged, even the roads leading to traffic congestions. Myself, for example, at Ishawa, I was on a queue on Monday for about 3 hours. And it got to a point I was beginning to contemplate is either I stay on this queue or go to work. And I think that unfortunately a lot of people have found themselves in that situation. Yes. I think earlier we had one of our correspondents do a vox pop of people on the queues, and a lot of them were saying that they couldn't go to work because they cannot trek to work. They have to use their vehicles to go to work. So you would either choose to queue or find an alternative means to go to work. And it's really sad. Now I hear people talk about the option of black market. And for those who don't understand, black market is how they explained it, how Chidima explained it in a report where some residents of that area would take their kegs, go and buy, into the kegs, and then we sell for people who either are not patient enough to queue or maybe are in a hurry. And a lot of people say things like, oh, they cannot buy black market. But there are people who are literally caught up, their stock, they have no option than to buy it. Because imagine your fuel being maybe on reserve and then you're nowhere near the front and you have to go somewhere. Yes. You definitely have to. So all of these things it gets to a point where you no longer have options. And like I said earlier, it's not just the fuel stations. People are stuck in traffic. Mm-hmm. Like you can just go you want to go somewhere, as long as there is a fuel station around you, there is a risk of you being stuck in traffic, which is quite unfortunate. But anyways, we have our correspondents who will be joining us now because, like we have heard, the fuel situation is not the same in different areas, right? Chidima has given us the report from Lagos, but now we're joined by correspondents in Borno State, Umar Kirawa, and of course from Abuja, the FCT, Joshua Imarai. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us on Report Desk Africa.
Thank you.
It's our pleasure. All right, I will start with you, Umoru. You are giving us the report from Borno State, I believe, and I would like to know what the situation is regarding the availability of fuel, because we heard that it's not the same thing all around. There's some places that couldn't be bothered about fuel scarcity. So what is the situation in Borno State currently?
Well, for the residents of Borno State, it's entirely a new ball game because there is fuel. There is no issue of fuel scarcity within the state capital. However, there is this springing up of black market spots because of the cost of the black market. For instance, if you go to the NNPC stations, they sell petrol, they sell fuel at the price of 830, and in some filling stations they sell fuel at 1,050, 1,100 naira. But in some black market they sell this fuel at the price of 1,000 naira. This has been one of the major issue of concern to many residents, raising questions on why is it that some of the black market sellers of the fuel, they sell it at the rate of 1,150, while other filling stations sell at the price of 1,100 naira, which many residents are asking questions on whether we have regulatory agencies checkmating the prices of this the pump price within the state capital and other environs. Basically, this is the issue within the state capital here in Maiduguri, but the issue of fuel scarcity we don't have for now. Only that at the NNPC stations you will see a little bit of queues because it's cheaper, and of course even tricycle operators, commercial tricycle operators within Maiduguri prefer to go to purchase fuel at the black markets. And on rare occasion, you'll see them at the NNPC mega stations.
Well, that's quite unfortunate because, if you are going to talk normal economics, I think fuel is supposed to be cheaper in states like Borno and Maiduguri. And if you're having fuel cheaper in states like Lagos and the Federal Capital Territory as compared to Borno, I would believe that Lagosians would rather queue for that long period than get fuel at the pump for 1,000 naira. That's quite ridiculous. So let me come to Joshua. You are in Abuja, and then just like we've been saying, it looks as though Lagos and Abuja is the most affected when it comes to the fuel scarcity now. Even though we are not probably buying the official price at 800, just like it is in Borno, just like Karawa just said. But how has this affected the daily lives of residents in Abuja now, because you're in Abuja, and then the key sectors in the country, bearing in mind that Abuja seems to be like a mini Nigeria now. That's where everything that happens in Nigeria is decided upon. And we have a large number of civil servants, public sector workers in Abuja. How has it been? How has it affected movement and the economy of the Federal Capital Territory?
Well, in as much as there is a issue of what scarcity across the states in Abuja, particularly civil servants and commuters are found away throughout the entire year because they seem not to be relying on private cars anymore. Everyone is hopping on public buses and public transit systems, particularly private public transit systems. And well, I must say that in as much as this is the Federal Capital Territory, the case here is what we are seeing drivers, motorists, queuing, camping in police stations all through the night. And unfortunately, some of them might even leave those police stations without getting the product. This is the plight of Nigerians here in the capital city. And there is something that is becoming more pronounced now in the Federal Capital Territory, as we are seeing business booming for black marketeers, and those who are waiting in line end up not getting the product. Now, this has raised pertinent questions concerning how these police stations sell to those who want the product and to those waiting in line. Because the business seems to be booming for black market. Yes. Now the question is, how do they get their product? This is the resonating question of many Nigerians who are queuing on this police station day in, day out, and they are not seeing any changes. In as much as we are telling the stories of transporters and commuters, the issue is actually biting cars in rural areas here in the SCT. In as much as we understand that the SCT is the capital territory and the development there is second to none, we still have rural areas here in Abuja, and some of these rural areas don't rely on normal power, like the electricity, the heat codes and the light. They rely on power to go to actually work on the daily activities. Now, those who are relying on this power have seen a deadlock, an embargo in the daily activities of their business. For instance, now one who drives for a meeting, who actually relies on fuel to power his meeting, is not seeing the product. A vulcanizer who is situated in one corner of the city center or in a rural area is not seeing this product, and it's making a cost of living skyrocket. Even in markets now, the price of food items they are increasing. Just a few days ago, the country announced a reduction in inflationary figures, but it is not the reality in the market. Consumers and sellers altogether are complaining bitterly because there seems to be a lot of price due to this transport situation. And whenever you question them, all the answer is there is fuel scarcity. There's fuel scarcity. This is the current challenge in capital city. And Nigerians are hoping that this challenge will be just within any time.
All right, Joshua, thank you so much for that. I mean, personally, I know that there have been speculations that we are not getting out of this a vicious cycle anytime soon, because we've said it time and time again that until there is an intentional step to fix our oil depot, our pipelines, then we would not make headways. Because, I mean, how do you explain that we have over 21 oil depots in Nigeria, in every nook and cranny of the country, and we cannot account for 10? We can't beat our chest and say that at least 10 of them are functioning optimally. So that's one challenge, right? Umaru, I'm going to put you on the spot very quickly. Now, imagine you were to prefer a long-term solution to this, because this is not the first time that we're seeing the case of fuel scarcity. It's either there's fuel scarcity or there's panic buying because people are scared of fuel scarcity, or there's a hike in the price of fuel. So it's been going round and round and round, and it's it's worsened over the last 365 days. So what long-term solutions would you recommend that would resolve the fuel supply issue and prevent future shortages, at least permanently?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not very much interested in pointing accusing fingers. But truth be told, the government need to step on toes. A lot of effort need to be put in place, deliberate steps to make our refineries work. And it's a thing of joy now that we have the Dangote refinery. I think much need to be put in place as a long-term solution to this. We have fuel. We have one of the best fuel across the globe. This is a well-known fact. And the issue of fuel scarcity should not be something that will be discussed in Nigeria. That's what I think. But the government really need to work on the refineries. If the refineries cannot be refurbished, why can't the government build another refinery since we have enough? If the government can build so many structures, can award contract for the construction of the millions of naira projects in Lagos, in Abuja, the construction of houses and so on, I think the government need to prioritize, give more efforts in things that have direct bearing to the lives and livelihood of its citizens. In a nutshell, the point is the government need to revitalize the refineries that we have and not to politicize the issue. Or if need be it, new refineries can be built, or the government can move, since we are talking of climate change and renewable energy.
Definitely.
If need be it, we can talk of gas, we can talk of solar, and there are so many options. And I believe if the government is deliberate, it can address some of the major problems we are facing in the country.
Yeah, I agree with you, Umar. Thank you so much for that submission. Unfortunately, we are pressed for time, but I know that we're going to get more updates from our correspondents subsequently in our news bulletins. Thank you guys for joining Report Desk Africa.
Thank you.
Okay.